Title: The Ethical Questions Surrounding Conor Casey, A Dual-Role Dilemma. Introduction. In the world of politics, the intersection of personal beliefs, public service, and advocacy can present complex ethical challenges. One such case has emerged in Vermont, where Conor Casey, a Vermont state representative, finds himself at the center of an ethical debate due to his dual role as a legislator and the head of Gun Sense Vermont, an anti-gun lobbying group. This article aims to explore the concerns raised by this situation and delve into the ethical implications it raises. Conflicts of interest and impartiality. One of the primary ethical concerns regarding Conor Casey's simultaneous roles as a state representative and the leader of Gun Sense Vermont revolves around potential conflicts of interest. As a legislator, Casey is entrusted with the responsibility to represent the diverse interests and concerns of their constituents. However, heading an advocacy group with a specific agenda can create doubts about impartial decision-making and compromise the democratic process. The question arises, can Casey fairly represent the interests of all Vermonters, including those who hold differing viewpoints on firearm-related issues? Transparency and the legislative process. Transparency is a cornerstone of democratic governance, ensuring accountability and maintaining the public's trust. When an elected official also leads an advocacy group, questions about transparency can arise. Are Casey's actions in the legislative realm influenced by their role as the head of Gun Sense Vermont? Does this influence compromise the integrity of the legislative process? The public deserves transparency and clarity regarding the motivations behind legislative decisions, particularly when there is potential for bias. Time commitment and dedication. Serving as a state representative demands significant time and dedication to address complex issues facing the state. However, leading an advocacy group concurrently adds an additional layer of responsibility. The question arises as to whether Casey's dual roles allow for the undivided attention and dedication necessary to fulfill the duties of a legislator effectively. Diverting attention and resources towards lobbying efforts may inadvertently compromise the representation of constituents and hinder the comprehensive understanding required for effective policyholders. The need for ethical guidelines. The case of Conor Casey underscores the importance of establishing clear ethical guidelines for legislators who are simultaneously involved in advocacy organizations. Striking a balance between personal beliefs, advocacy work, and the responsibilities of public office is essential to maintain the public's trust and ensure impartial decision-making. Legislative bodies could benefit from robust discussions and frameworks that address potential conflicts of interest, transparency, and time commitments, providing guidance for lawmakers facing similar situations. Conclusion. The dual role of Conor Casey, Vermont State Representative and head of Gun Sense Vermont, has raised valid ethical concerns. These concerns revolve around conflicts of interest, impartiality, transparency, and the dedication required to effectively serve as a legislator. Examining and addressing these ethical questions is crucial to upholding the integrity of the democratic process and ensuring that elected officials truly represent the interests of all constituents. By engaging in open dialogue and establishing ethical guidelines, policymakers can navigate the complexities of personal beliefs and advocacy work while maintaining the trust of the public they serve. It is through such discussions and reflections that we can strive for a more transparent, accountable, and ethical political landscape. Note: this article is intended for informational purposes and does not represent a definitive judgment on Conor Casey or Gun Sense Vermont. It aims to foster discussion and consideration of the ethical implications of dual roles in the political sphere.